Let the world burn. Let the world burn. This is how it always had to end. If I can't have you, then no one can. Let the world burn. Let the world burn.
Today we are watching Chaos on the Bridge. This is probably the most requested Star Trek documentary that we've ever gotten, ever since we started TNG, because it's a TNG-focused documentary. Now, I don't know the exact year that this came out, Alex, but I know that it's recent. It's not from the 90s, and usually we would never watch something out of release date order, but we have had multiple people in the Bridge crew watch this for us and rewatch it if they watched it a long time ago, and assure us that there are no spoilers beyond TNG for this documentary. They said there is one image at some points from the movie Generations, but it doesn't spoil anything that we don't already know, and all that we know about that is that William Shatner is in it. So, if they're wrong and there's a big spoiler in this, you're going to be in big trouble.
Prices are going up.
Prices are going up. Not just for the Bridge crew, for all tiers. But yeah, that's my spiel. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch this because I heard it's about those troublesome years of seasons 1 and 2 of The Next Generation, which I think are some of the most fascinating years in terms of growing pains and all that. I would love to know what that was like behind the scenes. I've talked to you about this. I think I've talked about it on the channel before. I'm kind of half and half when it comes to documentaries. One half of me doesn't want to be spoiled on the magic. Part of me wants to just believe that the world exists and that I can just escape to it and just let the magic be the magic. But then the filmmaker side of me goes, okay, how is this made? How much was shot in a day? What are the sets like? What's it look like on the other side of the camera? Who's back there? What are the script supervisors, the directors? How much involvement is in it? What does fucking day one look like with the storyboards and all that? What does the writer's room look? I want to know everything. So I'm hoping this documentary will answer some of those lingering questions I have of what the hell it was like to make this.
Yeah, 100%. And this is, going to be the first time we've ever done any type of, that kind of look for TNG.
We've done bloopers before,
we've done
right?
Bloopers,
An extended of Measure of a Man?
Extended Measure of a Man, but in terms of, I'm hoping there's interviews in here. I'm hoping there's, things like that. The only documentary we've reacted to was the 25th anniversary special, and that was essentially just a glorified commercial for Star Trek 6. So I hope this one is a good time, and we're watching this on Amazon Prime. So that is where we are watching it. 59 minutes, 13 seconds is the runtime we have. Last thing I'll say on the release order side of it, this is not something we're usually going to do. So if you want to request things that we are going to watch, still please keep them in release order when it comes to Star Trek adjacent. Like I know people have recommended, Star Trek episodes of Futurama and The Simpsons and all these things, and even those, we would want to be safe and wait until the release time of them. The reason this is an exception beyond the Bridge crew already okaying it is that we just finished TNG, and in terms of it making sense to watch this is probably the last time it would make sense unless we did pure release date. And so I think it makes more sense to watch this kind of documentary now than in 6 years or whatever when we reach the 2010s or whatever. So
yeah, I think now's a good time.
So we're going to get jumping in.
An iconic television series is relaunched.
Oh, narrator. Who could it be?
What could go wrong?
I'm also interested in who made this, because Paramount didn't.
Yeah.
Gene's ideas about the future and about man are wacky doodle.
Red alert! Shields up!
He was a flawed man. He had great virtues, he had great flaws.
I thought Gene was going to come across the table at me.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I want to know who these people are.
I'm sure their names will come up in the actual interviews.
Gene wasn't the easiest person to get along with.
The mistress.
What?
There's really scary stuff going on. There's a lawyer going around looking in people's...
Oh, it's your guy.
I heard Stephen Bear with the blue goatee.
My agent was the first person to tell us there wasn't a hope in hell that this show will even make it through the first season.
I've heard that's the only reason he did it.
I became fascinated with the struggle for power.
Did you, Will? Did you?
He got fascinated, but once they wrote him that check.
Roddenberry had an incredible loyalty. He was very loyal to his friends.
No, Gene screwed over all his friends.
I just found him a decent man.
And had a lot of worldly experience. A bomber pilot in the Pacific, decorated.
Ooh.
I had great arguments about philosophy and all sorts of things. He was a really remarkable man, I thought.
Gene was fun.
Oh!
His wife Major would go to the conventions and they would sell memorabilia, make some money that way, and that money helped sustain them.
Wow. Off of conventions. Oh, Maurice Hurley. That's who fired Gates, you fuck.
Gene Roddenberry was considered somewhat of a pain in the neck.
Everybody else forgot him after Star Trek the Motion Picture, this epic disaster.
Get out of here.
I think they mean financially.
Oh, okay.
He had been relegated to being the executive consultant on the movies. They paid him very well. And I think that may have been enough.
Shandler's actually interviewing these people.
So they gave him this emeritus status, and he was a has-been.
Damn.
Jesus.
Rip.
Finally, after years of trying to convince him to do a new Star Trek series.
I wonder if they needed his permission.
I'd hope so.
Guy getting his own entrance music.
Who in himself could be a movie of the week.
The fuck?
I can recall one day when Leonard was almost clutching his chest, and I'm saying, I hope you die.
He is a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's kind of their job, to be a bad guy.
Gene felt he had gotten screwed on the original series.
I think that's fair.
Gene had as much celebrity as the show itself.
Young Gene.
But Gene would take his fair share out, and by the way, it was a handsome share.
4%. Well, good for him.
Every weekend, Majel would pour him onto the train and send him to La Costa, the facility where they dry him out.
Gene brought in, almost immediately, Eddie Milkis, Bob Justman, me, Dorothy Fontana.
Everybody in the commissary would watch us walk in and walk into the executive dining rooms. Psst, 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 psst. There goes a $100 million deal on the hoof.
Even imagining a time where Paramount cared this much about getting a Star Trek show going.
Someone taking away Captain Kirk.
Of course.
They were angry because he didn't have Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
I'm not watching this new shit.
I had done a show called Get Smart Again. I think there's a big problem if you try to recreate it. It's quicksand.
Oh my God, I don't know if this is something that anybody should be doing.
Everybody knows it's not going to work.
It was both really exciting, and also there was this thing in my mind of going, ooh.
I never would have thought these two people even ever spoke to each other. Q and Captain Kirk, oh my God.
People started saying that Gene was a visionary when he had this utopian vision of the future. I think that he started to...
Woo! Applauding at a video at a white person activity.
He would go to conventions, and he loved being the great bird of the galaxy.
Oh my God, Gene is God.
Gene got very interested in learning more about humanism.
Interesting.
In the Next Generation, he tried to impart his humanistic philosophy.
Gene was obsessed with the idea that the future was going to be better.
There was tremendous anticipation because it was the rebirth.
David Livingston, hey!
I then went to ABC and Brandon Stoddard, and he thought it was simply a bad idea. President of CBS Entertainment, and he said, let's do it as a miniseries. Well, that clearly doesn't work.
I didn't even know they did miniseries back then. Well, I guess it, 1990.
Yeah, it, 1990, yeah. Just imagine a 2-episode Star Trek series.
We will take it out in first-run syndication.
There we go, Lucille.
We went from a cornerstone for the Fox network to this new hybrid for first-run syndication.
That's crazy.
Roddenberry didn't want to do a 2-hour.
I thought Gene was going to come across the table at me. We're not doing a 2-hour, and I'm not writing a 2-hour. If you do not do this, I will bar you from the lot.
Over a 2-hour pilot. I mean,
And he knew I was dead serious.
But you were bluffing.
I was bluffing.
Then he says, I have to add 30 minutes to the script because the studio wants my name on the pilot, which was a lie.
And he came back the next week with Encounter at Farpoint, which introduced the Q character, who was not in the original story that Dorothy wrote.
I mean,
I like John Delancey. I thought he did a wonderful job. And Q came back in other stories.
Right, it has nothing to do with
broke him up a Q in 2 weeks. That's pretty good.
He came back with a script, and to this day, I have no idea what that episode was about.
All right, it wasn't that incomprehensible.
Yeah.
Bob Justman went by a hallway where he was teaching at UCLA and heard this voice. It was Patrick Stewart.
Wow.
Right place, right time.
That Gene said, absolutely not. This guy couldn't be more wrong.
I had my vision. My vision was, I want Bill Shatner. I want a good-looking guy who's young and virile and...
Just no reaction.
His old Bill is sitting there.
Oh, Mitch Ryan? Oh, yeah, okay.
The one that I thought was interesting was Yaphet Kotto.
Hey.
Yaphet Kotto, okay.
And this was John Pike. He said, I'll have him read, but he's got to wear a wig.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
No.
It was FedExed across to Los Angeles, and it was sent to me.
Imagine he wore a wig the whole show.
Patrick did a really good reading, but he had a British accent, and he had a really, really bad toupee. Read him bald-headed. Well, Pat Stewart has one of the baldest heads in the world. He nailed it. And Gene said, we got him. And I said, Gene, he doesn't have any hair. And Gene looks at me and he goes, hair doesn't mean anything in the 25th century. There was no way you could counter. And the next thing you know, Patrick Stewart got the job.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
It was brilliant. He didn't tie me down to anything at all, except he said the nature of the man is in this character in these books.
Interesting.
The executive producer's lawyer, he would hand me scripts saying these are notes from Gene, but I knew Gene's handwriting and they were not notes from Gene.
Who was not a Writers Guild member, was working on script.
Oh my God.
Oh no. Bro, just be the lawyer.
Much against the Writers Guild.
Yeah.
My agent took the stuff to the guild, and the guild filed a grievance, and Leonard Maizlish got banned.
Oh.
We'd go out to lunch, we'd come back, Leonard Maizlish had snuck into people's computers.
What? Their computers.
Leonard Maizlish was running around hiring people. Morris Hurley, Bob Lewin, neither one of them came in knowing Star Trek, and they were immediately promoted.
He's standing right next to an open window, no screen, no anything, and I'm thinking, it would be so easy to push that bastard out the window. Go push that bastard out the window, they'll give you a medal.
Holy shit.
I mean, writing the scripts, editing the scripts is crazy.
What in the world is that thing that looks like a big jellyfish? And it was a smash.
Hey!
Did you realize that the Next Generation...
Oh, shit.
Q is God, a literalized character on Star Trek The Next Generation.
By an atheist.
By an atheist.
That's why he was such a smartass.
Yeah.
I had never filmed in Hollywood in my life before. I'd had no ambitions to film in Hollywood.
Really?
Sir Patrick took the work very seriously. If we fooled around, which we were wont to do, he'd let us have it. Sing, and we would dance, and we would wrestle.
What? Bill, you're acting like you didn't do this?
No!
Oh, what? Oh, this is crazy.
We did have a long and lasting, personal, very intimate relationship.
Gene started experiencing a series of mini strokes.
Oh no.
Oh, Jesus.
Gene's energy level was...
I remember that name.
Thought it was a woman.
I want to consider you as a writer for Star Trek The Next Generation. I said, that's a joke. It's a joke. But I want to meet Roddenberry.
Why would you call it a joke?
Pass each other in the hallway 4 or 5 times a day. He won't look at me.
Apparently Gene didn't like what he wrote.
Gene's ideas about the future and about man are wacky-doodle. That developed between the first Star Trek and the second Star Trek.
Okay.
Gene is not going to be down there on the front lines punching, but he will be the all-seeing advisor, the wise man.
So it was specific to Next Generation. That's why TOS doesn't feel like that. That makes sense.
Okay.
If you tell a writer that the characters can't have conflict between them.
Yeah, it's got to be tough.
Yeah.
The essence of drama is conflict.
Ooh. Well, it's Snodgrass.
I like the dramatic constraints it put on me as a writer.
Really?
Well, I had to find new ways to tell stories.
There we go.
We would walk around in each other's offices going, I don't know how to write about that.
Take it or leave it, and work within it or don't.
Dude, based.
Writers a lot of stress and struggle, and then in most cases, Gene would just take the scripts and he would just rewrite them.
Give me that. Literally, Vince McMahon.
Your trailer was so bad you didn't want to go back to it.
Oh no.
You remember those?
I do. I used to look at them from afar.
They weren't throwing a lot our way in terms of any, perk. I used to go and steal food from the set of Cheers. We would literally have sliced tomatoes and cremora.
So this made you think what?
Well, you feel like the illegitimate bastard and the...
No wonder she wanted to leave.
Yeah.
About the management of television, it's a sausage factory. You got to turn out a sausage every day.
Oh, that kind of sausage.
Say, this is the story we want to do. Then when that story was written out, he'd want to tear it up and throw it away. If you throw this story away because this one is different but not better, the machine breaks down.
Yeah, why not just keep it at least?
Yeah.
And I said, I'll do the show if you leave. And he said, Majel and I were thinking of going to Tahiti.
I don't think he realized things would get so out of control so quickly.
I want to know, when that happened, though. You know what I mean? It'd be interesting to be like, okay, when did that happen?
Mm-hmm. People questioned Maury's ability to run a room. Maury didn't like the way certain people took notes.
I don't really care what people think.
Jesus.
No writer could come in and give me an idea that I would accept no matter how great the idea was, if it broke that concept.
Oh, what a great way to run the show.
Called Conspiracy, and I was intentionally trying to shake things up and do a different kind of story.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, get into specific episodes.
Maury came back to me and said, it's not Star Trek, it's too dark, it's got a dark ending, it's unhappy.
Who the fuck is that guy to be the fucking judge of what is Star Trek?
Maybe it was Rick Berman, but somebody loved the script and thought it's exactly what we should be doing.
Yeah, I've only written cop shows. This isn't Star Trek. Get the fuck out of here.
Episodes would go by, and, I'd maybe say, aye, aye, Captain.
She was such a popular character.
Was she?
I used to ask them to do a mock-up of my legs, and just up there on the bridge.
You'd have to come in for a shot.
I was always there.
Oh, just up on the bridge. Oh.
And I think Denise quit after 20-some-odd episodes to become a motion picture star.
He clearly still holds some resentment.
There is no conflict and no tension between people, then there's no relationship between people.
Bro, you were literally the one rejecting the scripts.
I wanted to create this new adversary, the Borg, this overwhelming, awesome adversary.
So he created the Borg?
At the end of the second season, they defeat the board.
Then what happened?
Writer strike.
And they were saying, it's really bad. And I think your show will be one of the first to be cancelled.
Oh, man.
Suddenly, the strike was resolved, and we went back, and we started the second season very late.
That's why they had 22 episodes.
Uh-huh.
A man that I've worked with and deeply admire, Maury Hurley.
Tell me the story of Gates McFadden.
He felt very insistent about a new doctor.
Straight to jail.
He just didn't like the way the character of Dr. Crusher was working out.
You know, not the best character in the first season or anything, you know.
They thought at times that Gates was a little bit high-handed and a little demanding. I never experienced that.
It's either her or me. You know, one of us has to go.
She was adored. And suddenly she was gone.
And the character of Dr. Pulaski just never really quite solidified.
It was awkward a lot of the time.
Really?
When I worked with you,
There we go.
we had scenes. It was all actors.
Bill, I'm sorry. When we what? Who were you?
Yeah, he has no fucking memory.
You were in the show with me? Oh, wow.
What show?
And egos kicked in the second year, big time. Mine as much or maybe more than anybody's.
All right, he had the self-awareness to admit it.
Okay.
I say to Berman, fire them all. Absolute tragedy that the Enterprise exploded by unknown cause.
Unknown cause. Dude. Oh, my God. Second season, everyone's dead.
Jesus.
Basically just a reboot.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Patrick's very unhappy. He's creatively not being satisfied. I said, I'll fix that. She said, we're meeting Patrick at 1 o'clock. I said, let me know when it's 1:15.
You're strong arm.
Sits down by himself and now has to wait for 15 minutes.
Ah, you fucking dick.
But we have already put the script in the work, and we will write your character out.
Wow.
John, that's terrible.
Patrick Stewart and I never had another discussion after that.
Jesus.
I don't recall that meeting very well. I recall another meeting, which was very different.
Oh.
Good Morning America would be coming into town, and they were going to film on the set. I said, no, screw you. No gags, no jokes, no Klingon jokes. Absolutely not. There's going to be nothing like that. And now we're going over to today's weather forecast, and he's wearing my uniform. I won't repeat what I said, but I walked off the set. We're live, you've been announced, you're coming, you're live. And I said, he said I had let the studio down, I had embarrassed the studio, and he said, I totally understand why you did what you did.
Nice. I love that Patrick Stewart, of all people, is the one trying to take it seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that.
The second best thing that happened was when they didn't pick me up for the third year.
Thank God!
Get the fuck out of here. Get this guy out of here.
I said, this is insanity. I have just left the cuckoo house. Just go.
Funny how it got good after that.
Yeah, amazing how it became one of the best shows of all time after you left. Who would have thought?
There were some crucial concepts that were done in the first couple years. You know, some things that would reverberate through the entire series.
True.
The holodeck, in my opinion, was Gene's greatest invention in The Next Generation.
And Rick was just at that point tearing his hair out.
Jonathan directing there?
I used to have a big board that was in my bathroom.
It was the name of every writer who had gotten fired so far.
Ira Bear was sort of his number two. And Ira was the guy.
Look at that photo.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I might want to pause and take a good look at that.
When I finally got a script of my own to write, I came up with this idea of this pleasure planet.
The visit to Risa
here
is
we
the only
fucking
planet
go.
name I actually...
Hey, that idea was good, though.
Yeah.
That part of it was good.
I've got a feeling our audience might like to see the captain just getting blown away by meeting somebody new.
I don't think he said away.
You got to go in to see Gene. So I go in.
So Gene's still there?
I want it to be a place where you see women fondling and kissing other women. Really? I'm going, oh man, I'm in the frickin' Twilight Zone. He goes, pay no attention to that. Just get the captain laid.
I can't believe there's an entire section of this documentary on fucking Captain's Holiday.
So we did that, and then we ruined the episode in the second half.
Then Maurice came back and finished the...
We found a leftover script.
Gene, Rick, Michael to just Rick and Michael, because Gene's health was starting to fail.
Up, Deep Space Nine.
This is all about our characters. This is a Worf story. This is a Picard story. This is a Data story.
And what Klingons do to their children.
Data, I am not talking about parenting. I am talking about the extraordinary consequences of creating a new life.
The offspring.
How did you feel when you heard that there was going to be a new Star Trek? Did that piss you off?
No.
Absolutely.
No, you didn't.
I had a twin saying you're now the captain to Patrick.
There's the image.
Okay.
Woo! That's what we have coming soon.
And by cutting him off and turning him into a Borg, it kind of gave his humanity back.
That's true.
Gene's passing brought an end to an era, but also gave a new group of talented writers and producers the opportunity to take the franchise to new worlds.
Hey,
animated series, all right.
Animated series. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what we got coming.
No!
Wait, I don't know the names. Wait, why In the Darkness? And that must have been when this came out.
I think he really believed in this positive vision of what mankind was capable of.
I don't think Gene wanted the franchise to fossilize into this. There were too many possibilities.
The series as a whole was the first syndicated television series to be nominated for Outstanding Drama Series. It's the only syndicated drama series to be nominated in this category. Not so wacky doodle after all.
Yeah. Fuck you, Maurice Hurley!
Oh, getting one last fuck you from Shatner.
Even Shatner, who said he admired him. Oh, wow.
Written and directed.
Whoa, okay, wait a minute.
Wait, okay.
How do you write a documentary? Here, say this to my questions. Wow.
Okay. Wow, that was not quite what I expected. I can't believe it's over. I just want more now. It's like, okay, great. Now can we go into... I feel like a very good overview of what it was like. I mean, we got some more details of how insufferable this Maurice Hurley guy was and Gene's lawyer. It made it seem like, yes, Gene was a problem, but these other two fucks were a big part of that problem as well. So take some of that blame off of Roddenberry for the way season 1 and 2 were. But
yeah, can I just say, dude, I mean, I come away from so many things being like, this didn't need to be this long, or like when we watch something, that is an hour and a half, and I'll be like, I'm glad it was an hour and a half, because if it had stretched out, but this one, man, it's like I could have watched 2 hours, or better yet, I could have watched an hour long of each season, like a mini series of the 7 seasons of each one, because just so fascinating to me. I will say, I don't want to say it's unfortunate, it just is what it is, but like a lot of the little tidbits and stories, like of course I have heard just through our journey, through our comments and those types of things, but to hear it from them, and the way they put it and things like that was really great. And, going into it, I expected there to be a little bit more in terms of the interviews with the actors, but I'm actually so appreciative that it was mostly interviews with the people behind the camera, because we never get to see them like talk or anything. I mean, I'm sure you could look up their interviews, but like, for example, Brandon Braga, like, first of all, it said his date was like 1993 to 94. Was he only a writer on the last 2 seasons? I didn't know that. But also, like, I didn't have anything against him or anything like that. I just thought, oh, he's the weird sci-fi guy, later in the show. But, like, damn, respect gained for everything he said in his interview. And he came in later in TNG, so he didn't even have to deal, maybe that's why he feels that way, because he didn't have to deal with the first 2 seasons. But, in my opinion, yeah, is Gene's idea, like, the best or whatever? Like, probably not necessarily. Like, I agree, obviously, with the things they're saying. Like, it's hard to write for perfect people. I mean, we've talked about all that. But, for him to be like, okay, Brandon Braga was like, all right, well, that was his vision. Like, either come here and write in that or don't. Don't, like, come in and try to change it. And I totally respect that, kind of opinion of, like, you don't have to like it, then don't write for the show. Totally respectable.
Yeah, and this is the way the game is now. It might not be like that later, but I'm here to work, and I'm just going to do what I can. And to enjoy the challenge, I thought, like, oh, that's kind of based. Where I'm like, okay, this isn't ideal to have characters with no interpersonal drama, but I'm still going to try to write something.
Yeah, I would love to be able to try to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Rather than fucking, as the one person said, I don't remember who it was like, oh, we all went around to each other's offices, like, I can't write like this. It's like, I'm sorry, I respect these people, but it's like, shut the fuck up. It's like, you're going to need to write for a fucking Star Trek show, you know what I mean? It's like, I get it at that time, they didn't see it that way, because it was like, oh, this shitty Star Trek reboot's going to get canceled.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on. It's like, you're getting this opportunity, I would kill for that, you know what I mean? So it's like, fucking do it the way you need to do it. But obviously, I do agree it's good that it changed eventually.
Yeah, and like you said, it's so nice to have a face and a voice to some of these people we've been talking about. And even Ira Stephen Bear, who I thought, oh, this guy is probably insufferable, but he seemed like pretty with it. Seemed
yeah, because you judged him off of purely.
I judged him purely off of his IMDb picture,
Captain's Holiday, his IMDb image, and in the DS9 season finale.
Yeah, no, but also Ronald Moore, just completely based. But watching this, God, I just want to see William Shatner just interview the cast. I was just that little tidbit with Frakes and Shatner talking about, like, oh, you guys weren't singing and dancing as well? No, well, not like that. It's like, or I forget what he was talking about, the stuff under the trailers or whatever. It's like, you've seen those, right, Bill? It's like, oh yeah, I think from the other side of the line.
That they had the shitty trailers, yeah.
Oh, I think I saw those from the other side, yeah.
Shatner had the nice, oh, that was so funny. That was great. That was a great moment.
Yeah, I just want to see Bill interview everyone now.
Yeah, respect to him. I mean, we defend and love him, but even I was giving a little bit of crap at the beginning, like, oh yeah, he was interested once they gave him the check for this documentary, but he seemed pretty involved.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a smart, self-aware dude, and in our heads, I'm always thinking, like, he said he never even watched the original series. To me, like, Star Trek just seems like, oh yeah, that was the thing I'm famous for, but to actually see him, like, be like a go-getter and, like, actually being the one interviewing all these people. I don't know if he did all the research for the questions and all that, but he seems to have a very fascination with power. I think he said the word power at least 30 times. Just tell me about this power struggle. Please tell me about that.
Yeah, real quick on Brandon Braga, he did his first episode he actually wrote the teleplay for was Reunion, season 4, episode 7. And then he was mostly a staff writer until later on in the show. But yeah, and he's only 60, by the way, right? So he was young.
He looked pretty young. I'm like, wait, how old is this guy?
He was like in his late 20s when he started, so God, good for him.
Can we talk about the based Tracy Torme, or Torm? I thought it was a woman. The reverse of the DC Fontana, where it's like, yeah, I just wrote Conspiracy, and Maurice was like, oh, yeah. I'm like,
the funniest part of this is, like, I think we have our new biggest op replacing Nicholas Meyer in behind the camera. As much as we crap on Nicholas Meyer, ultimately the dude made 2 movies, basically.
Yeah.
Maurice Hurley is just, I'm sure he was a nice guy if he's still alive. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but it's like, that was just, I mean, could you present yourself in any worse of a light in this?
And the fact that even William Shatner chose to end this documentary on Not So Wacky Doodle after, it's like, as a big fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's not like
not the G, not anyone else, just him.
And it's not like that was an old interview in the 90s or something where he could have reflected. It's like that was his current interview at that time. And then for him to, I mean, the one self-aware remark he made was like, oh, everyone had egos, mine was probably the biggest. Okay, he had that self-aware remark, but that doesn't, like, I mean, even just, oh man, it's, I don't want to, have a whole conversation about hating this guy. But it's like, thank God. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, thank God all of this went the way that it did in terms of, being fixed. Like, even from when they were first getting it started and, having trouble finding a network that would give them 26 episodes, so they had to go to syndicated. The fact that the Paramount president guy, like, cared enough I mean, I know they were coming off of Star Trek 4, huge commercial success. So, like, but the fact that they cared enough to, get a new show going. I mean, and then for all of that chaos to ensue, and then to still be able to make it through, get it to the third season, and have things be great. I mean, it's just like, things could have been so bad. Imagine if Patrick Stewart had left. Like, imagine if Gates didn't come back. It's like, just so many things could have gone wrong. Of course, we live in this timeline, so it's like maybe there are different timelines where things could have actually ended up better. I don't know. But it just seems like this is the best possible outcome.
Yeah, it's like, thank God it worked. Yeah, maybe there's one where Denise Crosby didn't leave. Surprised no Brent Spiner, no LeVar Burton interviews.
Yeah.
Like, once again, I would just love to see their perspective, what it was like on set, and just hearing that Patrick was the one taking it so seriously and not having fun, getting upset at other cast members, similar to Michael Richards on the Seinfeld.
Was he like that?
I heard he was very serious.
Mm.
Yeah, despite
Ironic,
despite being the goofiest one.
Yeah, that was one of the things I had heard before, just in comments. But what I have heard though is that he did eventually also come around. Toward by the end of the show, they were all joking around. But at the start, he was the one serious one because he was the theatrical.
He was a theater actor. Yeah, the very serious. Yeah. Oh man, and also just fucking. I would love to see if there's footage anywhere of this news reporter in this TNG uniform doing a report and just hearing "fuck this" from Patrick Stewart in the background.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. You talked about wishing there was more actor stuff in here. The one that I felt was unfortunately missing, I would have really liked to hear from, is Marina Sirtis, because from what I've heard, she was very close with Gene and Majel and like even lived with them, and was kind of considered them like her parents in a way. It would have been nice to get her perspective of this.
Yeah. How about this whole mistress debacle?
I mean, I've heard that he was not the most loyal husband. I mean, he's a Hollywood guy, but it is what it is.
Yeah, just to fucking put it out in text in this documentary, mistress, and then just basically, with the innuendo of, with the pictures, and then you might as well just put a photoshopped a white stain on her dress.
Jesus.
Like good.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they were, presented, like that's great. I wonder how she felt about that. And William Shatner. Okay, just so you know, we're gonna put associate producer and then mistress. Excuse me.
And I hadn't heard of her before, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why would I hear of his secretary, I guess? But, yeah, just the way it all goes down. I mean, I'm so fascinated by, as much as it sucks to be a part of it, I'm sure, but the whole, politics and everything of what's going on back, this show is literally being created week to week, and these episodes are being made, and that's already enough of a headache and, stress. And then there's all of this, shit going on, just, in the office, that, the actors, for the most part, probably don't even know about or anything.
Yeah.
And, it's just so fascinating to me. I would have liked, if this had been longer, I would have liked more just drilled down, into when they were talking about, for example, all the stuff during the first season. Until Conspiracy, and Encounter at Farpoint, they didn't name any episodes by name. They didn't go into any of them. They made comments about things that happened, like how they, when Gene and Majel left on their trip, and it's like, oh, okay, well, when did that happen? I'm assuming the end of the season. But I'm like, well, it'd be interesting to know when that exactly happened. And then also, I thought going into this was only solely based on the first two seasons. The second season kind of just got just brushed over mostly. And then the only episode in season 3 that they focused on was Captain's Holiday, and then obviously Best of Both Worlds makes sense. So no focus on season 3 really, but it's it is covered. That's why it would have been nice for it to be a little bit longer. Also, it's right there. I know it's not a fan favorite episode, but Ronald Moore's right there. They're talking about how it became better in the third season. You can't talk about the bonding. I don't expect them all to be blowing it. No one treats that as Best of Both Worlds, but it's you couldn't at least be the first episode I came on and did was the bonding, and just talk about it. That would have been interesting.
Yes, talk about your first one at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, or how you got. Yeah.
Instead, they had Ira talk about Captain's Holiday, probably because there was the funny story with Patrick Stewart. So it's I get it.
This is one of those situations where I want this to be a 10 episode or even more. I want to know everything that fucking happened. I want to see the way they do documentaries now of some things. I don't know, especially the WWE. They always have documentary crews rolling in the back, at all times, because they're always making something.
Yeah.
And I wish they did that for this show, because I want to see, similar to Data's Day, I want to see an entire day. I want to see the entire 16-hour day. I mean, obviously not in real time, but cut up.
Cut down, yeah.
I want to see what these days. I want to see what the mornings look like. I want to see the actors go over the scripts. I want to see the makeup rehearsals. I want to see the fucking directors coming on and mark the points. Okay, Patrick, you're gonna hit this mark here. Gates is gonna come here. At this point, just the amount of scenes that are on the bridge in one episode. I'd love to see just how that fucking looks, and just how are they putting X's on the floor. I want to see an entire. I want to see everything.
Yeah.
But and this was such a tease. And this was really good. But it was like it was too much time, too much of a time span, not enough time to really sit down and savor and like what was it fucking like.
The biggest benefit of it being that it covered all that and being so like that it didn't drill down is that this was one of the fastest paced documentaries I think I've ever watched. And, you know, I watch a fair share of documentaries, you know, and I think the biggest downfall of a lot of them is when they get too in the weeds, but of stuff that's not interesting. Like when a documentary will be like, okay, now we're going to bring in this person, and then it'll be 10 minutes about this person's background before they even get into what it is. Like, that didn't do this at all, and I wouldn't want it to do that, but it was just so fast-paced that I was entertained thoroughly the whole time, but like half an hour in, I'm like, oh no, this is going to end. I'm like, it's too short, you know, and I'm like, I need more, I need more.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure there's more documentaries and stuff out there we can watch, but
I hope so.
we've been, you know, talking about and playing around with this whole idea of this, you know, show we want to do that's more focused on the background of Star Trek, and I think this was like more than ever an inspiration to do that even more, to have the opportunity to dig into that ourselves, but also to hopefully eventually one day also get to talk to these people, because it's like, yeah, hopefully there's an interview with Ronald Moore somewhere out there where he talks about that, but I don't know, even if there is, who knows if I'm even safe to watch it, because he probably talks about shit that we haven't seen, you know, so it's like, if I could have the opportunity somehow to eventually get to that point to talk to these people, that would be a fucking dream, you know, and it's like, I understand that talking to William Shatner and Patrick Stewart is like probably not going to happen, but you know, there's so many people that worked on this. Like, all the people in this documentary would be incredible to talk to that are, you know, the ones that are still alive, you know, except for Maurice Early. But the rest of them, it's like I would love to talk to any of them, to just ask them these type of questions that realistically they probably don't get asked really at all, or, you know, or all the time. So
Yeah, some of these people must have some free time, right? to be able to talk to.
like, hey, these two idiots are really interested in this stuff that you don't get asked. You know, it's like, god damn, it's so interesting.
Yeah, this is, and I agree. Around the third quarter, the last third, I started going, oh no, it's gonna end.
Yeah.
And we just barely scratched the surface in terms of stuff I really want to get deep into.
Like the Gates thing, you know, I don't want to dwell on it too long, but it's like I didn't even know if they were going to cover it at first, because they just started talking about other stuff, and then they're like, oh, tell me about what happened with Gates McFadden, and like, it's one interview clip from him, one interview clip from her, and then one interview clip from Patrick Stewart, and then they just like talk about Dr. Pulaski and move on.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, wait, no, I want to
hear the conversation. How was she brought back?
Yeah. And what made you come back? Like, what were you doing in that time? You know, what was the show? I mean, Patrick talked about it a little bit. Obviously, he said he loved Gates McFadden. He never experienced that. But it's like, what was that like without her, you know? And then what was it like? I mean, they talked a little bit about what it was like with Pulaski, but it was really just Patrick Stewart, you know? So, yeah, just, what did the writers feel about writing for Pulaski versus, you know?
Yeah, versus Crusher.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's so much meat on the bone that I'm just so interested in. But overall, I got to say, this was a huge surprise for me. I don't want to say I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I just, like, I had, you know, kind of low expectations of like, okay, just a Star Trek documentary, whatever, we'll see. And this was really, really entertaining. So whoever was behind putting this together, congratulations, that was awesome. Only complaint is that I wish it was longer, is that I wish there was more.
The best complaint you can fucking have is I want more. So I want more of this. Yeah, it was wonderful. I just I watched the Springer documentary, and that same thing. That was only 2 episodes, and like we could have. There's so much meat we can dive into here. How is this only 2 episodes? And that's how I felt with this. This could easily be a 10-part fucking miniseries. And the audience for Star Trek is there for the old stuff. I mean, try to do a 10-part miniseries on the making of Star Trek Discovery. I don't know if anyone's going to watch it. But Next Generation literally like changed the fucking game. The audience is there. The fucking Lego Enterprise just sold out.
And my 2 biggest questions of watching this when it comes to that side of it is, one, like, can you imagine? I'm not trying to shit on the new stuff. I mean, we haven't even seen it. You know, I have no idea. Maybe I'll love some of it. But it's like, can you even imagine anyone at Paramount right now scrambling around, or any of them having these arguments or this much passion about fucking Star Trek Academy? Like, I guarantee no one gives a fuck. That's an oversimplification. I'm sure there are people making that show that care. But it's like, I'm sure, big level, I'm saying, like, you know, people who are making those decisions, like, it just comes off as like everything else in modern day, not just specific to Star Trek, but like, oh, okay, yeah, do that, here's this, and then, you know, whatever. And it's like, it just feels like back then things were just so scrappy. Like, you just had to like get by and do things, and it's like just so fascinating. And then now they just haven't made anything good, you know, on TV in like 10 years, not just Star Trek. Just like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's exceptions. There's
of
good
course
things
there's,
out there, but like back then, I don't know. I just started watching Babylon again, and just that idea of filmmaking, and just everyone's just chain smoking cigarettes and going crazy, and just I don't think that disaster filmmaking happens anymore. I think everything is just too uniform and neat, and no passion is happening. Well, back in then, people were fighting in offices and screaming and throwing scripts and fucking drinking, and now everything just feels so we're making a Star Trek show. There's no passion anymore. Like, oh god, I would just love to just be a fly on the wall in these offices and just see what it looked like, and just all these fucking probably people balding from stress, just smoke-filled offices, jeans fucking throwing things around. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I love this, dude. This was awesome. And yeah, my second part of that was, so that was the first part of like, can you imagine anyone caring that much today? And then secondly, I'm still just so fascinated by this idea. Like, obviously TNG is this huge show, and like everyone loves it, whatnot, and it has all this impact, and it's 7 seasons. And then it's like the fact that Deep Space Nine and Voyager are both 7 seasons. And it's like, I don't want to minimize those or anything. I'm sure there's people that love those, but it's like, how did they survive so long and not have that cultural impact? From what it feels like, in terms of like, I feel if you ask, before we ever saw Star Trek, it's like, what do you know of Star Trek? Oh, well, we know a little bit about the original series of Captain Kirk and Spock. I've heard those in pop culture, and then I know what TNG is, just in the ether.
Yeah.
And I know they have movies. And then it's like, I'd never heard of Deep Space Nine, never heard of Voyager, and never heard of any of those shows. They didn't have movies. Like, it's just like very interesting to me that it's like, there's got to be interesting stories for all those shows too, so I'm sure we'll get there. But
yeah, I want a documentary on them all. I'm like, okay, after the success of TNG, was there dwindling returns with Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager, then Enterprise? And at that point where they're making those, we're going, yeah, the magic's not here anymore. Like, I would love to know, at what point do they go, oh, that's it? And in terms of the names working behind the scenes, did the more passionate writers leave? Or because obviously every episode's for the most part written by a different person, and the producers, especially in seasons 1 and 2, they had that wall of writers a different wall of writers, the ones that were all fired. I just wonder.
That's the real wall of writers right there.
Yeah, I just wonder the whole ship of Theseus thing. It's like how much
change before it's no longer the original.
Yeah,
thing.
How much change before it's no longer the original thing? Like which one's
Yeah, no, 100%.
Probably Enterprise, as people like to say. That's the end. But I wonder if there's anything happening during those shows where they're realizing, oh, we're getting less viewership. The magic's gone. What do we do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that happens. Maybe they're all great. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And just Star Trek as a fan, like, I just want to end off with this. As much as we joke around and as much as we shit on, whatever, and we're blunt, and all those things, it's like at the end of the day, it's like a documentary like this, it just reminds me, it's like, man, I just love this franchise so fucking much. And it's like, it does suck. As much as it's cool to come into this now and it's all there and we're just like watching it, that's all cool. It's like, it does suck that so many of these people have passed away, and it's like, it is what it is. That's just time. That's life. But it's like, Gene just seemed like, for all of his flaws or whatever, I'm just so fascinated every time they talk about him. And I'm so glad that, like, every time in this documentary that people were shitting on him, they would cut to also someone else, like, defending his point of view. Or, like, someone who saw it the other way. It wasn't just the let's shit on Gene thing. Because, like, I can understand that, and that's easy to do. And I'm sure he was the cause of a lot of headache and chaos and everything. But at the end of the day, the dude created Star Trek, and you just got to respect him for that. And then also the interview we saw of him in the 25th anniversary special, where he explained Star Trek the exact way we think of it, of, anything is out there, you can do anything. That always confused me up against this whole philosophy people say he has about, oh, humanity's perfect, everything's solved. But now it makes complete sense watching this, that it's like he read these humanist books, which I've never heard of that, humanist. I've never even heard of that, so that's very interesting to me. Because, like, I don't consider myself religious, but I don't really consider myself, like, a strong atheist either. So I might look into that, honestly. That seems very interesting. But to get into this mindset, it makes so much more sense that, oh, that's just how Gene felt at that time of his life. That wasn't always his philosophy.
Wasn't always, yeah.
So they just like so perfect. It fills in those gaps that I had of, like, what, how did that happen? So that's just so interesting. Just the whole thing's just incredible, dude.
Yeah. Speaking on Gene, like, yeah, he was probably problematic in his later years, but he was a human being. I mean, who's fucking perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it. And I think they described it. I think the one lady was describing it perfectly. He felt like he was deteriorating, he was slipping, and he was losing his legacy. So he was very protective over that. So I completely understand.
And then at the very end, Maurice Hurley was arguing against him when he was trying to be open-minded and make episodes that were good, that were outside of that framework. So, yeah.
Yes.
New biggest op.
New biggest op.
Wait, I'm going to look him up real quick because I'm going to feel bad if he's dead. I'm going to look it up. All right, he did pass away. Rest in peace, Maurice Hurley.
Rest in peace, Maurice Hurley.
No disrespect. With that being said, I'm leaving all that in the reaction.
Died 2015. Damn. So
Yeah.
this was filmed. How old is this documentary? Let me look it up. Hold on.
It had to have been 2014 because it showed Into Darkness. That had to have been the new thing coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was 2014 or 13 or something.
Chaos on the Bridge. Is that what it's called? 2014, yeah.
Yeah, 2014. And can I just say on that, thank God, they made this documentary, and they didn't do this on purpose at all, but thank God it's not, oh, Captain Picard is talking about season 1 of TNG, let's show some images from First Contact, the film. Thank God it's not just filled with future spoilers. There was the one image of Michael Piller and someone else on the DS9 bridge, and then there's the one image of Kirk and Picard in Generations, but the only reason they use it is because they're talking about them two in context, and it doesn't say anything about that film. So they, of course, didn't do that on purpose, I'm sure, but thankfully, because had the documentary even just something as innocuous as, oh, there's a bunch of images in it, we wouldn't have been able to watch it. And it's just like, thank God we were able to. So, and thank you to everyone on the bridge crew who took their time to watch this for us, whether it was a rewatch or a first time, and telling us that we're good to go on it. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, just if one of these can be released every year, and for every episode, like, okay, the documentary of the making of Encounter at Farpoint. Okay, the documentary of The Naked Now. Documentary of fucking the racist episode.
Code of Honor?
Code of Honor, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I want a fucking
documentary on the...
I want an hour plus documentary on every episode. I want interviews from everybody. I just want I want all the information on this. At first, I didn't want to open Pandora's box. I'm like, oh, the magic. I like the magic of the show. Don't tell me. But now, this opened it up. I want to see everything. I want to see exactly how this is made.
Whew, all right, man. Wow. Well, this was, in real time, the last recording of 2025. What a way to go out. Last year, we ended on Star Trek 6. So I would say this was a better one. A better way to go out.
A much better way.
You're not leaving my house with both of us depressed and stressed out. I think we're leaving on a pretty high note and a reinforcement of why we love this franchise. So,
and the baton was handed from Nicholas Meyer to Maurice Hurley.
Yeah, rest in peace. Every time we talk shit about that, we had to say rest in peace before, just to pay respect.
Rest in peace, yeah.
Just to pay respect. Just pay respect. Rest in peace. But, yeah, that's new biggest op.
Man, this documentary came out. He died a year later, I think.
2015, yeah. All right.
She saw William Shatner basically tell him to go fuck himself. I can imagine him watching this documentary and just getting to the end.
Oh, my God.
That's fucking amazing.
All right. We'll see you guys later.